Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Evil Next Door. And this foreign language horror film focuses on a young woman who is now dating a father and moves into this duplex home where it's basically a mirrored house right down the center. One side looks really abandoned and creepy, which who would want to move in next door? And then the other one looks like a normal house, but still right next to a house that looks completely creepy and haunted. So why would you move in next door? They obviously haven't seen Get Out. But you have this woman trying to prove herself to this man and to grow a genuine connection with his son. And that's really the heart of the film. And then the rest of it is creepy children, creepy, like contorted body man, and, a lot of creeping things. And, the setup is pretty familiar. We've seen this before. Honestly, the first thing that popped in my head was The Lodge, like right off the bat, because that had very similar setup with Riley Keough. And this film has that setup. Doesn't exactly go in the same kind of way. This definitely goes right into there's some demonic, creepy hauntings going on in this house. But they use this idea of duality in a very interesting way in this film, because it has this house that's split down the center that is mirrored, that has an attic that goes into both homes for some reason, and you have that being played upon, being this boy being dragged or attempted to be dragged into this creepy side of this home. And you have this going on. And then you also have this young boy and like a mirror creepy haunting version of this child and the same version of a father and a mother. So it has all that duality, and it's an interesting concept. And it really at the center is this young woman trying to prove herself to herself that she can do this and be a mother to this child. And that is, like I said before, the real heart of the story that leads all the way up to a pretty moving ending that hits on the emotional beats of the film. The direction, there's some pretty solid use of defocus to set up some scares from behind and a lot of shadows, and that really works. The scares are pretty effective. I got scared quite a few times watching this film. The visuals, though, are very gray and bland and just blah. And it's not very engaging in that way. And it really is heavily utilized whenever this creepy kid shows up. The kid's room is gray. The other side of the house, the other house, the creepy haunted looking one, looks creepy and haunted and gray and dreary. It kind of zaps a lot of the energy away, and there's not a whole lot of energy in between the scares in the story. It's a pretty simple idea, and it doesn't feel like there's tons of conflict either in this relationship, and they finally get to one that pushes things to the next level, and of course she has to come back and save the kid. But in general, you have some strong performances here out of the cast as well. And Tor Danielson and Oscar Melander, the directors, get solid performances here out of Dylan Gwynn, who is Shirin, who's our main character, and the young boys that act in the film as well. And in general, it leads to a pretty creepy and unnerving finale. A lot of that leaning on the creepy, unnerving design of these entities that inhabit this other house. And in the end, this feels like kind of the middle of the road. It has some scares. It might not interest you a whole lot between them. Kind of horror film that's going to be like, hey, it worked for when I watched it, and maybe not very memorable after I finish it. Might be gone. But in the end, it does deliver enough scares and work effectively enough for horror fans, I don't think this is the kind of film that's going to transcend horror fans and really get them into this film. But in the end, those are my thoughts on The Evil Next Door. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.